Hey guys, it's Cheyenne here. I'm going to do a little cord cutting ceremony on this full moon. The white candle represents me. The black candle represents my ex-husband. Because I don't want to think about him at all, period. So I want to cut any and all energetic ties. And that's what I wrote on my bay leaves that I'll be burning as well. I release all energetic attachments to Andrew, my ex-husband. I release all the damage caused by him, and I am free, I am happy, I am healing. Calling in the things I want, okay? So before we begin, I'm just going to offer up a little word of prayer silently, okay? Thank you. All right, so I'm going to light the candles. And then what's supposed to happen is they burn down. And then as they burn down, they will catch the cords on fire. So I may speed this up. I'm going to learn how to use the YouTube edits, okay? Yeah, because it looks like it may take a while. Maybe I can just move those cords up a little bit. I don't think so. I have them pretty stuck on there. Yeah, I'm going to probably have to use the YouTube edits. But, yeah. It's a neat little visualization, though, to help you, like, for me, it's mostly all about prayer. I pray and ask God these things, but to see it actually happen, to see the cords being burnt, that cord that's between us, any kind of energetic cords, which in the video I watched on Instagram, she had several cords between them. So I think she'd wrapped it around there multiple times. And I didn't even think to do that. But anyway, I just did the one. But, I mean, it's all about the visualization, just like fire ceremonies. They're all about the visualization to where you can see it happening, you know what I mean? You can see the cords being cut. You can see them being severed and burnt. In a fire ceremony, you're seeing the prayers, the things you're wanting to release and let go. You write it down on a piece of paper and then you burn it. And you release it and let it go. And then the things you're manifesting, the things you're praying for and asking God for, you burn those as well. And, so, yeah. And guys, my name is Cheyenne. I forgot to say that. I'm with Purple Phoenix Intuitive Tarot. Thank you all who have subscribed. Thank you so much. For all of you who are new here, please feel free to hit subscribe down below. And don't forget to click the little notification bell so you'll always be notified of any kind of videos I put out, because this one's new. Okay, this is a new video. But, anyway, so yeah, and thank you all so much for your likes, your comments, for sharing my content. I truly, truly appreciate y'all. I really do. I like these pillar candles. I think I might incorporate some into my little setup, because I have 2 little candle holders that I purchased, and because I couldn't remember how the lady did her video when she was doing the cord cutting ceremony. And so I got these, and then I watched it, and she had it looked like she had stuck them to a plate or something. Well, I just stuck them to my skillet. I just burned the bottom a little bit and melted the wax and then just stuck it on there. That's how I did it. And then, and it kept messing up. The candles kept coming off of there as I was trying to tie them. So I thought, okay, I'm going to tie them first. And then I'm going to stick them to where then they're going to be solid, you know. But, anyway, yeah, it looks like it's going to take a while. So I may just let this video roll and then fast forward part of it. I don't know how to use YouTube editing thing, so I don't know if I can do that. Like if I can speed up part of my video and leave the rest, you know, to be... Anyway, so this is a cord cutting thing, ceremony thing. I'm excited to try something new. You know, I do all sorts of ceremonies. I do the fire ceremonies, a full moon fire ceremony. I do new moon fire ceremonies. And then I do other little things, you know, in the privacy of my own home. Like things that I don't, you know, just things to help me release and let go of things. But I've never done a cord cutting ceremony, so this is neat. This is the first for me. Yeah, so I think I'm going to stop this video, and what I'm going to do, well, no, I can just edit it, and what I'll do is just speed up the part where they're just burning. Good, solid, steady flames. There's no fans going in here or anything, so I don't know what's going on when they jump around like that. I'm going to cough away from them so I don't blow them out. I don't know if it's the type of candle, but it looks like his is taking longer to burn down than mine. His candle almost looks purple when it's burning, but it's black. I purchased a black candle. And then what I did is I cut off the top of it. It was a very tall candle. Let me show y'all. It was already kind of broken. I didn't realize that when I bought it, but it's like super tall. And then it had this part, anyway, up there. And it was kind of broken. And then that part was the very, very top. So it's a very long candle. I just got it at like Walmart. And it's solid black, so yeah. Ooh, that made the candles dance. I'm gonna go ahead and burn my sage leaves. I mean my sage leaves. My bay leaves. Oh God. Oh, those smell so good. They're not fully burning. I want those to burn. Come on now. I don't want to hang on to the damage he caused. I definitely don't want to hang on to any ties I have with him. Okay? Period. I'll save this one for the end because that's my manifesting. What I'm manifesting. Well, I still didn't burn all the way. Like, I want all of that to be gone. Yeah, it still didn't burn. Maybe it will once it gets down to the bottom of the candle. Hopefully. And I put some herbs down in there. Those are the herbs I use at my fire ceremonies. You can find that information on Facebook on my page, Cheyenne.1978. My original channel here on YouTube is Cheyenne.1978. And then it was my sister, my older sister, introduced me to tarot. I think it was right before I got cancer, right before I was diagnosed in January of 2022. So it would have been like November or December of 2021. She introduced me to tarot. And, man, tarot has helped me so much. Like, I realized I was a reader, you know, because I'd always thought tarot cards were like bad, you know. And then, like, I don't know, like, going through my dark night of the soul, like, I lost my sister, my younger sister, in 2020. And then I was diagnosed with cancer in 2022. Sometime in between there, I started going through my dark night of the soul. My eyes were open to toxicity, like how, you know, it was open to all the good and the bad of the world. It was so weird. I don't know how to explain my dark night of the soul. My eyes were open to the good and bad in me. And I changed. I did not want any of the bad. You know, like, I knew that anger is justified. It's an emotion. You need to feel it, release it, and let it go. I've known that since I was a little kid. My anger, I always black out with my anger. And I don't remember hurting people, you know. So I've always tried to keep it in check, you know. And my mom and dad helped me by, like, putting me in timeout to where I could calm down, you know. And so I've always realized from a very young age that I had a problem with my anger, and that I need to keep it in check. So that I had under control pretty well. But there were other toxic traits about me, how I was very jealous, things that I wasn't like that when I was younger. Like, I wasn't like that as a kid or a teenager or even a young adult. I wasn't like that until I got into the relationship with my husband. And so, I don't know, there was a lot, and I thought, I don't want to be like that. You know, that's not who I am. I'm not a jealous person. And so I threw it away. I threw away a lot of different things when I went through that dark night of the soul. And my eyes were open to the fact that everything can be used for good or bad. I can use my middle finger to point at this leaf. That's not bad, right? But I can also use it to flip people off, which, you know, it can be considered a bad thing, you know, telling somebody, you know, hey, F you. That can be bad, right? And tarot cards, which I'd always grown up, you know, thinking they were evil, I've realized it's how you use them. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm communicating with God, my Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Godhead 3 in 1. You know what I mean? The Great Spirit, our Creator, the Divine. You know, that's who I'm communicating with. I'm not you know, I'm not using them for bad. I'm using them to, you know, get messages from God. And, you know, and people throughout history have got messages from God. Like Moses went up on the mountain, you know, to receive messages from God. Just look back in the Bible. There's so many different prophets who got messages from God. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm a prophet, guys. I am way far from it. I fall down and make mistakes every day of my life, and yeah, I'm far from being a prophet. I'm a sinner through and through, because you know, that's just who we are. We're born that way. But anyway, all you can do is try your hardest to be a better person, you know, and tarot has helped me do that. A lot of things have helped me open my eyes. I'm so much more open-minded now than I was. Let's just go back to 2018. You know, I'm so much more open. Even let's go back further than that, because even up 2018 I was a little more open-minded. I'd stopped watching the news. When I stopped watching the news and I stopped watching a whole lot of TV back in 2012, my mind became more open. And then as the years passed by and I just got to where I don't watch TV at all. If I watch anything, it's like YouTube, like I have going right now on my TV, just for music, you know, like background music. Or I'll watch videos on YouTube. I like Greg Braden. I like the guy in that work. I want to be able to subscribe to that channel someday to where I can get the full-length videos. I like watching videos like that. I like watching Dr. Ramani. I like watching Professor Sam Backman. They both talk about narcissism very thoroughly, and help you understand what that is and how you can see it in people to where, you know, you can kind of stay away and steer clear of those people, because they're energy vampires, guys. And once your eyes are open to the evils of the world, you can't unsee it, you know? Like once your eyes are opened, once you've began a dark night of the soul and began to awaken to the truth, you can't go back. It's not like you can just go back to who you were, you know? Your eyes have been opened to so many different things that you just don't want to go back. You don't want to, it's like you don't want to vibe on that lower level. You're way up here now, you know? You don't want to go back to that lower level where, you know, you might have participated in gossip or lower vibing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I've never liked gossip. I would just let it go in one ear, out the other. Now, I don't even listen to it. I'm just like, I'm good. You know, like, there are situations like, you know, when you're at work or in a social setting, sometimes you have to just sit there and let it go in one ear and out the other, out of, like, respect for your surroundings, I guess you could say. Like, it would be... excuse me. It wouldn't be considered disrespectful to leave, but it would be kind of rude, you know? In those situations, I just let it go in one ear and out the other. I don't even listen. Like, I'm not actively listening to this person talk. And I know that's horrible, and it sounds so mean, but, like, it's not, because it's not healthy for me, you know, to listen to gossip. It's not healthy for my soul. I don't want to be down there on that level, you know, that lower vibing level. I want to be up here where I'm at, you know. And so, like, if I'm in a place where I can walk away, I'll be like, I am not going to listen to that. I'm walking away. You know what I mean? If people are gossiping, because I can't stand it. I don't like drama. I cannot participate in that. You know, like, I don't know. I'll listen to people and their drama, but I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to encourage it. And you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that, but and a lot of times, guys, people will come to me with drama. And I'm like, why, Lord? Why do you send these people my way? I don't want to hear about their drama. You know, I'm an empath. And so if it's a really something sad going on, like, I don't want to hear that because I'm going to feel it. You know what I mean? I'm like very, very super sensitive. I became very, very sensitive around 2021. Hypervigilant for a little while there. Like super, super sensitive to what was going on in my environment. And people were thinking that I was like, they were like, Shine, you're exaggerating, you know, but I look back and I really do not think I was. I really do think that those things were happening. It's just, it sounded so far-fetched that people wouldn't think that that kind of stuff could happen. But then you listen to narcissism videos about psychopaths, and you realize, oh my gosh, that really could happen, you know? And it's like, I tried to tell you, you know, like, these things were really happening to me. But anyway, yeah, I've been through a journey, guys, since 2020. When I lost my sister, my younger sister, it crushed me. But I had to be strong, you know, because my mom and dad were so crushed. And I just hated it for them. And my older sister was crushed, and my younger brother was crushed, and I don't know, I had to be the strong one, you know what I mean? Like, my brother-in-law, who was married to my sister, my younger sister, who passed away, while my sister was in the hospital, his dad passed away. And my mom and my dad were over there with Linda all the time. My younger sister's name is Linda. Anyway, they were over there with her like as much as they possibly could, you know, and so I went with my brother-in-law to help him plan his dad's funeral and do all that. And I went to his dad's funeral with him, you know, and because, like, I don't know, I knew I had to do all those things. I knew I had to be strong for my family. And sorry, I'm crying, guys, but and I was always that, you know, for my family, like always the strong one too. And so I don't think I allowed myself to grieve my sister's death properly, like the way I needed to grieve it. And my husband, my ex, I'm not going to call him my husband, cutting that tie. My ex-husband did not allow me to grieve. He wasn't there for me when my sister passed away. He wasn't there for me when I had cancer. He was there for me physically, but not emotionally, not anything but like this rock is here for me. You know what I mean? That's like how he was. It's like this rock. No emotions, no nothing. You know, that's how he was when my sister was going through what she was going through right before she passed away, because she went into the hospital in November, and then by March, at the end of March, she passed away. And then when I got cancer, same thing. You know, like, I was there alone at my house when I found out that I had the pancytopenia, which I didn't know what the hell that was. It was your white blood count, your red blood count, your platelets, they're all Mine were all like 0 point something. And I was scared, and he wouldn't even come home from work, you know, to be there with me. Like, anyway. And then, like, whenever I would get chemo, he would take me over there to get the chemo treatments, and then he would, like, grab his phone and go into the bathrooms and be in there for a long time. Or, you know, and talking on the phone. Or he'd grab his phone and go out to the car and smoke cigarettes and talk on the phone. And I'm left in there alone. And then after the chemo treatments, he would take me, drop me off at the house, and go back to work. Yeah, it was not good, guys. And that's what I gotta release. I gotta release all that pain that's attached. I don't want to remember those bad things, you know. I've always been really good at burying the bad things, putting them in a suitcase and just burying them. And that's what I've got to do. I've got to burn it to where it'll go away. Because I'm tired of carrying around so much pain. And the weirdest things will make me think about it. And just kind of relive it, you know. I'm so sorry I'm crying, guys. But I've got to get rid of that. I've got to be able to cut that cord. All those cords that are attached to him. It's like I just don't even want to know that he's here. I don't ever want to think about him. I don't think back to good times. When I think of him, I think of all the pain, you know? And so it's like the last little bit I've got to get rid of. And so that's why I'm doing the cord cutting ceremony tonight. You know, I want to be able to release all that pain. I want to be able to pack it all up in a suitcase and just bury it and not ever think about him again, you know? Like if I see him, I want him to be like a stranger, you know, just somebody I don't even know. And I have no feelings toward, you know. That's what I want to feel toward him. I just want to feel like he's a stranger to me. Like I don't want to know him. And I'm really hoping this cord cutting ceremony does that for me. I might have should have got different kinds of candles because they are taking forever to burn. Boy, y'all got an earful about my life tonight. But, and guys, the dark night of the soul, the spiritual awakening, it never goes away. You're always constantly trying to improve yourself. You're always constantly, something new is brought into your life that's, you know, your eyes are open to this new thing. Like for me, a cord cutting ceremony, you know, all these different things that can help us, you know, old traditions, you know. I have a very superstitious family, so when it comes to superstitions, I know about every single one of those. But, and my great granny, she tried to teach me about the different plants growing outside. My grandma Parrish did too. But, I didn't pay much attention. I wish I would have. Excuse me. But anyway, I had a really good time down by the lake. I went down to the lake today. It said that the full moon was going to be at its peak at 6, I think it was 6:50 something. So I made sure I was down there. I think it was 6:54 or 6:56. So I made sure I was down there, like, I got down there like 6:44. And I thought, perfect timing. And so then I'm looking for the moon. And then I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, it says moonrise 8:55. And I was like, oh well, I have 2 hours to hang at the lake before the moon starts rising. So I hung out at the lake. I got a lot of cool pictures and videos, you know, to share with y'all. Check out my Facebook, shine.1978. That's where I share all that. Or my Instagram, shine.1978. But I shared a lot of different pictures and videos on there. I mean, not a whole lot. I will, though, over the next few days. I have several. I have enough content that I can share several different videos over the next few days for the rest of the full moon, you know, because after today, we still got 3 more days of the full moon energy, you know. So, anyway, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I realized that I really do like being alone. I enjoy my own company because I'm just real laid back and chill person, you know. And sometimes I crack my own self up. I'm just real goofy. I spent a lot of time praying and meditating and writing down the things I wanted to release, which was mostly things to do with my ex-husband. Things that I've got to let go of and release. I don't, like I said, I want him to be a stranger. I don't even want to think of him. I want him to be a stranger to me, you know. And then I wrote down the things that I'm calling in, that I'm manifesting, which I wrote a very long list of, you know, like, God, if you do have another husband in mind for me, he better be like this. He named off all the different things that my husband wasn't. Like, I want somebody who's going to love me unconditionally. Because conditional that's not love, you know. And I had to learn that the hard way from 23 years of being, in parentheses or quotes, loved like that. That's not love, guys, when it's conditional. And I realized that, you know, I wanted somebody who loves me just the way I am, who's not going to pick me apart. And, you know, like, anyway, I wrote down a very long list. Look at that. My flame is going crazy. My flame's like, yes, we're getting rid of the cord. That's freaking awesome. My whole entire side is on fire. Looks like there's still some on his side that's hanging on, which is exactly what I've been feeling. Like he's still trying to hang on to me. Oh, look, there it goes. It's cut. Thank you, Amen. The cord is cut. All energetic ties to him are gone. He is like a stranger to me. I probably should have got something to put all this out with. I had my water there. I can always... Yeah, I went by Brahms and got me a sundae so I could hang out and talk to my daughter for a minute. She works there. And I got me a water. Got me a water and a sundae. A single dip hot fudge sundae. That's my favorite. No nuts. Extra hot fudge. That's been my sundae since I was a little kid. Look, his candle is gone, but his wick is still standing. I wonder what that represents, what it symbolizes, you know? I don't know. I wonder if I have, yeah, I have plenty of books in here. I could just put a book on top of it. That would snuff it out. I'm sitting there thinking, I wish I had something metal. Oh, I do. I have a pan I can put on top of there. Alright, looks like it's all done. So now I am free, I am happy. Oops, I am healthy. Yes, sir. Look, his wick is still standing up. That's crazy. Alright. So that's how you do a cord cutting, guys. Always make sure you have a fire safe pan to use. I mean, dish. Like that chick in the video, she used a snuff that out. She used a lid to get rid of the fire, and then she also used a like a plate. So I thought that was really neat. I never thought to use a plate. I always, from the get-go, I thought I'm just gonna use my little. Look at that. That cord is still burning. It's gonna take me, it looks like, look, it's still burning. It's all like smoldery burnt, but it looks like it's gonna take me a while. From that, what I get is it's gonna take me a while to bury it, you know, which that's how I've always been, because I'm a dang empath, and I always try to give people grace and shit. I give people way too many chances. I'm putting it all out. I don't want it. We're burying it. I'm going to bury all of that tomorrow in daylight. But anyway, this was a little fire ceremony for y'all, a cord cutting. My hair is crazy because the wind down there at the lake. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good night, guys. And God bless y'all. Especially if y'all lasted until the end. Please, if you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And God bless y'all. Have a good night.